ago, I worked with a guy called Sam in an IT business, and he was very unhappy about the way his business had grown. Initial glances showed that Sam's business looked great. It had a high level of turnover, and he was always busy and in demand. He also had a great name for himself, but he had two big problems. The business wasn't that profitable. And the second, and this is a biggie, is he did not like the work he was doing. Sam felt trapped and he had no idea how to fix it. Let's talk about how he got into this problem in the first place. When Sam started out, he started working on the sort of business he loved doing, which was working with big companies with their infrastructure. While he was starting out, he didn't have quite enough of that work, so he started taking on little side gigs to help locals with their IT problems. The problems with this sort of work is that people were very price sensitive, and he often had to offer a flat rate, but often the work would end up being a lot more time than he had planned. Essentially, this made this work unprofitable, even though on paper it looked like he was bringing in a lot of turnover. It was taking so much of his time and energy, he didn't have enough time to go and find the ideal client work that he needed to grow his business the right way. What Sam had thought was a short-term fix while he grew his ideal business ended up being a long-term problem. The first thing we did was decide that he was not going to take on any new clients with that menial little bits of work. The second thing we did is we blocked out 1 day a week that he had to go and focus on growing his ideal business while he had this other work. This did add to a slight drop in income, but it wasn't profitable anyway, so it didn't matter that that was happening. Confusing turnover and profit is such a big thing, and it's scary when you see that bank balance drop, but you have to remember if it wasn't profitable, it doesn't matter. As soon as Sam got one of his ideal clients, he quit the rest of his work. Why? It wasn't profitable. His other work was profitable even though he was having less turnover. This gave him a whole lot more time to grow his business. He ended up having a business that he loves. That one contract that he got led to several others in the area because of the great work he did with it initially. Do you have a business like Sam?